some of our listeners are foster parents and people from all sorts of care environments. And one of the things that when I was exposed to therapeutic parenting, that kind of opened my eyes to really interconnect all the different behavioral models that I'd come across before, that just suddenly was a case of actually there's something that's missing there throughout. And therapeutic parenting for me, I now teach that, or the principles of it, across all environments pretty much. But there's many people out there who may not be familiar with it. So would you mind explaining sort of what it is and maybe what the main differences are from the old super nanny-esque type strategies?
Yeah, I mean, I think the one critical difference is that in therapeutic parenting or trauma-informed parenting, the terms are fairly interchangeable. Instead of looking at what the child is doing and reacting to what the child is doing, i.e., you walk into a room and the child has painted the whole room with pseudocreme, for example, and those happy sort of events that happen in our lives. A standard response would be, why did you do that? How dare you? That's very naughty. And, you can jolly well do this, or I'm taking your pocket money away, whatever. What therapeutic parenting does is it's almost like you have a curtain in front of the child and you pull the curtain away and you look behind the behaviour. You look behind what you're seeing. You take a pause, if you can, as long as possible, and you think about, why has this happened? What's going on here? Why would the child do this? And then in therapeutic parenting, that's what we are having the dialogue with. We're talking to the child about what we think has happened and why we think it's happened, and responding to that unmet need that the child is showing us through the behaviour.
Yeah, it's the sort of learning to respond rather than react kind of premise, isn't it? And taking that kind of that breath beforehand to kind of explore behind. Is that something that so did you learn that over a period of time? Where did your kind of understanding of this come from, and how early in the journey with your 5 adopted children did you start instigating that?
I would say I was lucky in that I had fostered first, and I'd already had a year and a half of thinking, I'm not sure my go-to strategies work very well. So I had that embedded. And I did think, when my children came to live with me, I did think, they've had trauma, so obviously it's going to take 6 months to get them sorted out and get them feeling secure. And I would say within that 6 months to 1 year period, I realised that I had drastically oversimplified the whole thing, and it really came home to me. I think at a point where one day I'd got my 2 older children to sit down at the table and write, if you like, write about why they'd had a punch up in the bathroom. Very standard parenting. And what they did was gouge holes on the table with their pens, try to stab each other with their pens, and rip the pages up. And I remember looking at them thinking, there's something offline here. There's something where, they're not accessing it. I could have done that with a securely attached child and got them to reflect and think about their own behaviour. And it became clear to me that my children could not reflect on their own behaviour. And sometimes they didn't even have a memory of what they've done, let alone be able to answer why they'd done something. And so it dawned on me in the first couple of years that it was up to me to provide the answer to the question why, and the children couldn't do that. But I'm not saying I instantly became really good at doing that. It was a very long learning process, about 10 years, I'd say.
And I say it's a habit that you've got to develop, isn't it? It's something that you've got to kind of really work hard to kind of change and not go into old parenting scripts, which I think is something that any parent really struggles not to. Have you ever encountered an adult or child's behaviour that has felt difficult, overwhelming, or challenging? Have you sometimes felt at a loss of what to do, or know that you didn't handle it quite right? People are complex and unpredictable, and their behaviour can be like the weather. We've all made the mistake of looking out the window and feeling safe to wear shorts, but 5 minutes later wishing for an umbrella. But what if, like a weatherman, you understood how humidity, temperature and pressure all come together to cause the weather, allowing you to better prepare, predict and respond, and prevent ever having a picnic ruined by a thunderstorm ever again? My book, called Targeting the Positive with Behaviours that Challenge, helps you to become the weatherman of behaviour. It provides you with a toolkit to increase competency, confidence, resilience and empathy, so you feel more assured about how to respond to distressed or dysregulated behaviours in others, including those affected by trauma, mental health, neurodiversity, learning disabilities or dementia. Build better connections, achieve de-escalation and improve outcomes for yourself and those you engage with my celebrated 6-stage target model, a step-by-step process to reduce distress for everyone. Discover my empowering, person-centered guide in Targeting the Positive, written by me, Andy Baker, available from online bookstores worldwide. Find a link in the description and order today.